My name is Jerome Jones, aka Romeo Jones. I'm a creative director, artist, and graphic designer. Yeah, it's interesting because going through art school, I was taught about the masters of art. But I said to myself, how could these 6 or 8 artists be the masters of art when you had monolithic pieces in Egypt and it was full color, it was well documented? And so I would say these people might be the masters of art. But overarching, I think Aaron Douglas should get some positive feedback on it. I think someone like Samuela Lewis, I think Horace Pippin, I think of in kind of contemporary, an artist like Frank Frazier, who doesn't get a lot of publicity, but I think is one of the I would call one of the current masters of art, as well as some of the younger artists like Ray Rose, Laura Lisa, Lakeem Wilson, and a couple of other various artists. So I think we can do a better job of promoting ourselves, promoting the people that are currently with us, because one of the things that I find is that artists really don't get their due until they're no longer with us. And I think that should be over and done with. I think we should celebrate artists while they're living currently. We can speak on each other's artwork, not wait for someone else outside of our core audience to verify and kind of confirm our artistry. I think everyone has something to say, and a lot of times artists are kind of forward in their thinking. So by the time people kind of catch up with what they're doing, what they're trying to put out there, the statements that they're making, it's kind of lost in the translation in terms of years and months and things like that. There's a couple of things that I can say about that. Number one, I was fortunate to grow up in a nuclear household with a mother and a father, and I have two siblings. And one of the things that we did was we ate dinner together. And I tried to make this happen in my family as well. We would always sit down and eat. Two things about that. One, home cooked meals, fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, fresh food. And we would sit down and enjoy a meal. And a lot of times, I think because of the pressures of price, time, and effort, we tend to rely on fast food or quick eats or eating outs and things like that. But getting to your point specifically about food, particularly in our community, I think we really have to really look at not only the types of food, but the nutrition within the food. By example, do I eat red meat? Yes, but I do not eat red meat every day or every week. Do I eat chicken? Yes, I eat chicken, but I do not eat chicken every day or every week. But there's one thing that I have every single day in my diet, and that's fresh spinach and garlic. Now, it sounds like fresh spinach and garlic, but there's a lot of nutrients in fresh spinach, and garlic is actually one of those things that will retard a lot of colds, a lot of flus, a lot of viruses, and things like that. So I think that overall, I think we really need to look at the nutrition within our food. And I'll just say this, portion control is very key. Don't eat to get filled and feel like you eat just enough and push away. Um, a lot of people say, you should eat one meal a day. I don't subscribe to that. I try to eat at least 4 meals a day, and people say, wow, 4 meals a day, that's kind of a lot. But what it is I'm training my body to increase my metabolism to the point that when I'm eating, I'm burning it off because my body knows, hey, no need to hold on to that food because there's more food coming. So that's kind of my thought process around that. Really, I think we need to cook our own food, eat our own food, pay attention to where we shop. Everyone can't shop at Whole Foods. Everyone can't shop at high-end grocery stores. But if there's a bodega, look at the fresh food. Look at the fresh vegetables. You'd be surprised how well you could do with just those things. Reading. I think when I was younger, I was given books. Of course, social media wasn't a thing then, but I think reading, and particularly reading not only about our history, but about financial literacy, about emotional intelligence, about physical intelligence, about really looking into the person within your community. And I'll just say this: I never blame black people for black people's problems, because there are a lot of external forces that come into play that no one even thinks about, why people are the way they are or where they live. If we had our choice, 99% of people would not live in a poor neighborhood. They would not send their kids to bad schools, and they would have fresh food, drink water that is clean, which is a problem in our neighborhoods and communities. But getting back to reading and reading comprehension, I think education is key. I think that sets us apart in some ways. You have a lot of educated black people, and you have a lot of uneducated black people, and they're actually the same people in the same community fighting the same things. But if we have increased our reading comprehensions, particularly in our young people, I think that will help us within the community. So that's kind of my take on it. Well, my father told me that there's no excuse for ignorance, because library cards are free. And so if you don't have a library in your neighborhood, demand one, find one, create one. Start by reading an ABC book, green eggs and ham. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything specific, but what I'd like to say is, once you build the muscles up in reading, it will require you to read more, longer, and better. And then I think you'll be able to discern things that are put out in the community that are really for your detriment, versus things that are really for your good. So we're in Black History Month. I would encourage everyone to read The Miseducation of a Negro by actually the father of Black history. I think that's a critical book, because it will give you a hint as to the hurdles that are put in place to stop your forward progress.
This is brought to you by Kansas City Business Association, working to improve our community.